We're back now with more of our new series, Stolen for Sex, as we highlight one of the most troubling epidemics around the world right now, sex trafficking. We just heard from some young victims forced to do what no young girl should ever have to do. But right now, you're about to have a very rare insight into this often deadly world from one of the pimps who spent years working the streets of Southern California.
San Diego attracts more than 30 million visitors a year. But the city's sheriff says an increasing number of them arrive with a dark desire.
There's literally thousands of girls in San Diego. The vast majority of them underage, 12, 13, 14-year-old young girls. We're seeing them recruited in junior high schools. What they are really is sexually exploited minors. And we talk about the men that take advantage of this service, and we call them Johns. No, in many cases, they're child rapists. That's all they are.
The grim reality is that the streets are flooded with children for sale, thousands each and every year.
We just literally saw a pimp arrive and collect a carload of girls.
Yes.
This is one of the areas or tracks where they are put to work.
So right now we are on one of the most infamous tracks in San Diego, El Cajon Boulevard.
For Sarah Cruzon, this is a difficult walk down memory lane. Under the instruction of a brutal pimp, she was first sold for sex at the age of just 13. Years later, she would be controversially sent to prison for almost 2 decades for shooting and killing her pimp in self-defense.
You must have had to shut away and push down, Sarah, some pretty horrific memories as a teenager in hotels just like this one.
Oh, of course, and then those are memories and horrors and nightmares that'll stay with me for the rest of my life. When they hand you the money, the wickedest part of a human being comes out. It's like sleeping with the devil.
Put your hands on the ground,
Except that in the world of cash for kids, the devil's not unique. He could be a husband, a father, or even someone sworn to protect and serve.
These individuals who are seen as Johns are really the ones who are, your principals, your police officers, upstanding citizens.
Many of the recruiters cruise the streets looking for runaways at train or bus stops.
Pimps know exactly what to look for, and if they see a young girl out here, or even a young boy that looks lost and by themselves, offer them something to eat or a ride or maybe some, a warm place to stay.
It was always something behind it.
This man, who wants his identity protected for his safety, was one of those pimps. A violent gangland thug who resolved his disputes with either a fist or a trigger.
I think I always had the edge on certain confrontations because I'm ready to die right now. Like, if that's what it's gonna be, I'm gonna try to kill you, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna try to hurt you.
After 12 years in prison for drug and gun crimes, he decided to try his hand at pimping.
And at the height of the operation, if you want to call it that, how many women, how many girls were you pimping out?
I would say at one time I probably had 4.
You never beat the girls, you never physically harmed them?
If she would do anything, or the other girls would do anything, to bring heat to me, I would check her. I would have to check her, or she didn't respect me. Put it that way.
As a teenage sex worker, Sarah's pimp had her under constant surveillance. Tonight, she's being watched again.
There was a car that just went by, and then they stalled, right there at the stop sign and waited, and then they made a left. So, someone knows that we're here.
The stereotype is, I guess, these bad guys who put these women out on the streets, they don't see any of the money that they earn, and they cop a beating every time they step out of line. Was that your reality?
I would give them money like pocket change money while they out there on the blade. They might need something to drink. They might need to go buy some condoms, you know what I'm saying? They might need to get in the cab or to go do something, they might have to pay on the room.
The hold you had on these women was so strong that they felt enslaved.
No, that's not my reality, because some of them left. I never held anybody against their will or like guerrilla pimped them.
You've got daughters yourself. I mean, how would you feel if they were in the life, and I guess if they were under the control of a pimp?
Well, I can tell you, totally made me feel like Like, wow, because I see where I'm at now. And I'm like, I'm so much better than that.
He says he was virtually numb to their feelings because he was already broken himself.
So when you hurt, you cause hurt. You know what I'm saying? When you're hurting, you hurt other people.
Police say more than 100 gangs are involved with the San Diego sex trade, many of them affiliated with murderous Mexican mobsters.
What's increasingly worrying authorities is that this sick trade here on US soil is being propagated by transnational syndicates. Many of the pimps in San Diego have ties to the deadly cartels just across the border here to Mexico. And recently, US authorities have indicted sex traffickers from gangs in Asia, Somalia, and even Iraq.
Luckily, humanity has two sides. For all the evil, there are people like Susan Muncie, a selfless advocate who runs this safe house to heal survivors' wounds.
They arrive broken, don't they?
Right.
How do you put them back together?
Lots of love, lots of acceptance, lots of psychotherapy.
Stevie Jordan is one of the young women Susan has rescued.
The abuse was just normal, and I thought it was a sign of affection and love.
In just a few months, she's gone from sex slave to high school graduate.
After being here and seeing that you can trust, you know, it's kind of like the wall starts coming down slowly but surely.
It's a similar story for survivor Janona Lilliard, who very nearly died at the hands of her abusers.
I honestly didn't think I would live to see past 16. So now that I'm in college and have my own place and doing so good, I can't do anything but smile. I don't have time to feel bad because there's other people out there who need my help, the police help, that need to be rescued and saved.
They're my heroes. I think if we all wake up and are aware of it and see it and detect it and report it, we're going to be able to stop it.
And when you consider the ages of these victims and just how much is at stake here, few things could be more important. And according to Summer and police on the front line, these are the warning signs to watch out for. Any change in behaviour or friendship group, the appearance of new items or new clothes, if your child starts hiding their phone, reports of truancy at school, or any unexplained cash, bruising or tattoos.